Hey gang, welcome to Pia's Beauty Review. I just found a video that I actually recorded back in May, and I had had trouble at the time uploading it to YouTube for whatever reason, um, and so I just uploaded it. It's a little late. It's okay, but I would like to get your feedback on that. If you want to watch that, go to the video before this one and watch it. Let me know what you think. Um, I came here tonight and I'm not quite sure what I want to say, um, but I just felt like I needed to film. Part of it, kind of maybe a conglomeration of things like body positivity, depression, self-worth, just a multitude of things. And I guess what I'd like to start out with first is depression. For those of you who have never seen a video of mine before, maybe this is your first time, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I hope that you subscribe. I have been so terribly sporadic on my videos, and for that I deeply apologize. I want to get into a better regular routine, and I find that I have not been doing that at all, not in the least. And I think for more personal therapy for myself, I need to start filming more. So I'm going to give that a go and see what happens. But if you're new to my channel, I sometimes suffer with depression. I do take a low dose of an antidepressant medication to help me not be in the doldrums quite so bad. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Some people have kind of a stigma about people that go to therapy, mental health therapy, or that are on medications. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think, the first step to solving a problem is to admit that you have one. Second step is doing something about it. And my therapist encouraged me for months, tried to talk me into getting on medication, and I was afraid that it would make me into a zombie or something, somebody that I'm not. And so I fought her on it for several months. And after I got on it, after I finally gave in and decided to go on a low dose of it, and within my first week or two, I could tell such a huge, huge difference. And had to kind of eat a little bit of crow and thank her for continuously urging me to try something. When you're in a depressive state, unfortunately, we get involved in ourselves. We are only concentrating on our own lives. And I apologize, I'm not sure if you can hear my dogs. They're downstairs. Fez and Grizz, if you've been here for a while, you know who they are. They're downstairs and they keep barking. I think a leaf blew in the wind or something. It doesn't take much, but I digress. But when you are in a depressive state, and at least for me, this is what I can tell you, is that I am just totally focused on me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm going to be right back. I am going to go shut my bedroom door, and I'll be right back. Okay, you may hear a fan in the background now, but it's quite warm up here, and I don't want to, you can see I'm a little bit shiny. I don't want to completely melt before your very eyes. But anyway, for me, it's, you know, just thinking about myself. It's about kind of focusing on what isn't going right and what could potentially go wrong. Things like that. And it's just a bad place to be. And so that's why, as I said a few minutes ago, I want to get back into videoing more. My kids were living with me for 10 months, my daughter and son-in-law and granddaughter. They recently bought a home and they've moved out of the nest. And, well, they sold their home before, moved in with me for a time until they could find something. They found something, they've moved out, and now it's me by myself again. So I didn't always feel comfortable, even though I put these videos out and I talk to you guys, which I'm totally comfortable with. I just wasn't always comfortable with videoing when my kids were here, and especially when my granddaughter was here. She needed my time. And by the time she went to bed, it was getting close to bedtime for myself. So anyway, again, I digress. But what I want to say to you about depression is to notice the symptoms. You know, do you feel as though you don't want to have anything to do with anybody? Do you find that you'd rather just stay in bed? Do you find that you seem to be really tired all the time? Do you find that you don't want to get out and go out with friends or do things like that? I just encourage you to take a step back and to look at your life and to really assess what's going on. Kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, step outside of yourself and ask yourself, what's going on here? Why am I feeling like this? What's the deal? And don't ever be ashamed to get help, to ask for help, to go and seek counseling. I highly recommend counseling to anyone and everyone, because regardless of who you are, nobody is better than anybody else, and we all could use some good counseling. It's nice to get an outside party who knows nothing about our lives, who, you know, someone we didn't grow up with, you know, somebody that isn't a family member, somebody that isn't your significant other or a sibling or what have you. Somebody who's completely out of the picture and who can listen and help you to kind of dissect what you're going through and to give you the tools to help you to learn how to deal with what it is that you didn't know how to deal with. And you might be able to go through therapy and the tools may be enough. It may not be, and you might need to get on some medication. And there is no shame in that either. Absolutely none. I know that a couple of people who shall remain nameless kind of looked down on me because of therapy and because of medication. And I say too bad, because I will have to be honest. I want to try and keep this video short. I want to make a few other videos. So if you see me in the same attire, that's why, because I want to make a few videos while I'm here. But to me, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, as long as you are getting the help that you need. And if you need to be on medication, so be it. Where I was going to go with this, just real briefly, is the fact that I was feeling pretty good probably a year and a half ago, and thought, I don't need to be on this anymore. Might be closer to 2 years ago by now. And I took myself off of the medication. It's a low dose. What could it possibly do? You know, I will tell you what it did to me when I went off of it, pretty much cold turkey. I went through such emotional rage. I bawled. I was so angry. It just like it welled up inside me when I was going through a withdrawal. I wanted to physically rip the skin off of my face. Literally, that's what I wanted to do. Now, I don't tell you that to scare you. I tell you that because if you are on a medication and you want to get off of it, You need to wean yourself off of it. I would strongly suggest that you do that only with your doctor, that who you got the prescription through. Do not do that by yourself. Don't do it, because the side effects of going off of it can be quite quite painful, quite detrimental to you. So please don't do that. If you want to get off of it, seek your physician. I also don't want you to think that you shouldn't go on something because of what I just told you either. Because I don't ever have any issues, ever. And it's like 10 milligrams. It, again, it's a low dose, but I take it every night before I go to bed, and I don't have any problems. The only time I had a problem was when I tried to doctor myself by taking myself off the medication. So just a lesson to you. Learn from me, learn from my idiotic mistakes, and don't do that to yourself, because you could end up in far more severe circumstances than I did. So with that, I pray that you are healthy, that you're happy, that you're safe, and I pray that you have peace in your life. If you need help, seek it. Until we meet again, my friends, have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.